VSiN Action Update.
Hey, I'm Paulie Howard with your VSiN Action Update. Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Texans 42-34. They cover and it flies over. They're 5-0. Next week they host the Steelers. Monday Night Football, Bradford expected to play according to Zimmer. Vikings 3.5, 40.5 the total here at the South Point. Injuries in college football in the NFL. Let's start in the NFL. Beckham out for the year. Watt could be out for the year. Conley out for the season for the Chiefs. College football. Spate likely done for the year. 3 broken vertebrae in his back. Miami loses leading rusher Mark Walton with an ankle surgery. And Major League Baseball. Could be one of the best days of the season. All 4 playoff series in action. 10 o'clock Pacific. Houston leads Boston 2-1. Morton against Porcello. Morton's 115, 10.5 the total. Supposed to rain all day in Boston. In the American League, we'll continue the American League rather, 4 o'clock Pacific. No line on this game because it's Bauer in place of Tomlin. Bauer against Severino. Yankees won last night 1-0. Nationals and the Cubs, 1 o'clock Pacific. Scherzer against Quintana. Nats $1.20. And 7 o'clock Pacific, the night game, Darvish and Greinke. Dodgers try to sweep the Diamondbacks. Darvish, $1.18, 9 the total. We start with the NFL and the Green Bay-Dallas finish on Follow the Money straight ahead.
It's now time to Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard.
$50, the Smales kid picks his note.
Mitch Moss.
We've heard this from NFL coaches before. You can't lose your job due to injury. I call BS on that every single time.
Paulie Howard.
I don't like it when the other guy dictates the terms, and it's like, who are you?
Follow the Money.
Look at the coast. We get together, have a few laughs.
Right here on the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Sirius XM 204.
All right, here we go. Thanks for checking in live on the Las Vegas Strip here on a Monday. South Point Sportsbook is your location. Mitch and Paul with you for the next 3 hours. Tons to get into with Major League Baseball and the quadruple header. You heard Paul in the update, college football and NFL. And we could probably say this to begin the show every single Monday. Strange day yesterday in the NFL. Tough to determine if books had a good day or if it was the bettors that got the better half of them. Favorites 6-6 overall. 6 dogs won outright. A lot of them obviously were small dogs. And the total, same thing. 6 to the over, 6 to the under. And I know David Purdom was all over this for ESPN Chalk, saying that it came down to last night, whether or not the books are going to have a good night. A lot of books needed Chiefs, some books needed Texans. So it was, you know what, you win some, you lose some, Paulie.
I think it was a small loser. Yep. The Chargers took money. They got there. The Jets took money. Jacksonville. You also had a lot of money on Carolina. And the Miami money with Mariota not playing, so it looks like a lot of the professional moves and the sharp money got there and cleaned them out.
We will begin with one of the upsets from yesterday, small upset, as Green Bay went to Dallas, and they won that miraculous, awesome game, by the way, 35-31. Rodgers was sensational. And the problem here is, first of all, 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. You don't see that every day in the NFL. But it's on the Cowboys again. And what they did, it kind of circles back to last year when the clock management was horrendous in the playoff game at home. They blew that, and they blew it yesterday too. And Joe Buck was all over it from Jump Street. As soon as they passed for it on, 2nd and 1, Buck is like, I don't like this call whatsoever. And he was right.
Yeah, you had a 10-minute drive. The whole plan was to keep the ball away from Rodgers because you knew you couldn't stop him. I don't know if he audibled there or what he did, but 2nd and 1, they're not going to stop you if you run it. That's an extra 30, 40 seconds right there, or they would have burned their last time out. And then you're just going to get the first down, so then it's 1st and goal. You can do what you want. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe he passed the ball there. I couldn't believe it.
Paulie, they took over the ball with about 9:50 and change to go in the fourth quarter. And at the 2-minute warning, they're showing the graphic. I'm like, have the Packers had the ball in the fourth quarter yet? Because they had that pick 6 on the return.
Yeah.
And then at the 2-minute warning, it was already a 14-play drive for almost 7 minutes. You could have owned the ball for the rest of the game. A couple of guys here in the league with Rodgers and Brady. You going to give them back a minute, 13 seconds?
Who thought they were going to get a stop there after what happened last season in the playoffs too? 35-31 and 34-31 now. And if the whole goal is to keep the ball away from Rodgers and use all the clock, why shouldn't Dak not take a knee at the 1?
Yeah, right.
Just have 1st and goal from the 1. Had a tick down there, too.
They're going to get in from the 1-yard line.
You could see it coming.
Of course. So put it this way. On Friday, Brent Musburger joins the show every single Friday, and we gave him another play for the Super Contest. We decided to go with the Cowboys in the game. And when they gave the ball back to Rodgers, a $1.13 to play, I'm like, oh, we have no chance of covering this game. And so how do you like this? At William Hill, one better over there, waited until that spot in the game. He got the Packers at 7-1.
Down 15.
Put $80 on him. Here you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good move. Because you knew they weren't going to slow them down.
Uh-huh.
But they did whatever they wanted to start. And then the offense struggled. And they lose another tough game, too. And as we mentioned Friday, now look at the Eagles with a 2-game lead over the Cowboys now.
Sure.
Now you got what Jerry says after the game, and
who knows how that's going to play out.
That could be a distraction. Guys could get ticked off, too, with that, with the flag, with the anthem. Jesus, you can't lose that game at home.
No, can't do it.
There's just no home field advantage. They are horrible ATS at home, too, under Garrett.
Yep, correct. I love how the Packers attacked him, though, especially after Rodgers picked up the first down with his feet. He went to Adams once. It didn't work. And he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go back to him. Here he is after the game.
No, I was gonna call another play, but Tay came back and said, call it again. He said, he just throw, with his eyes, he just said, throw a better ball. So I just switched formation up a little bit to put some speed at 3 with Randall at 3 to the strength. And was thinking about going back there unless Heath got some width in his drop. They played 55 again, which is 2-man. Just put a better throw on it. He made a great catch.
Went right back to Adams. That was the play. Good move.
I was surprised he played. Good for him.
10 days after he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You see all these injuries, the memory loss, the problems with the CTE. Trevathan got 2 games reduced to 1. Okay, 10 days later, he's back on the field. But that was a tremendous ball game yesterday, and the ratings were going to be through the roof in that game. Packers pull it out now, 4-1 on the season. I'll say this. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. They got to keep Jones as a starting running back.
How about that? What a story.
Move Montgomery to wide receiver.
Yeah.
Jones is he's the best guy you got in the backfield. That kid can play.
Crosby, 2 extra points. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
and so when you think about that and how it played out, if he doesn't shank them, they're not going to go for 2 late, right? The game probably would have been tied 31 apiece. And that final drive would have played out completely different than what it did.
Yeah.
All right, biggest surprise of the day. And I know you said that we saw plenty of money on Jacksonville, but it didn't matter. To do what they did to Pittsburgh, they were plus 280 on the money line. They were getting the 7 points. And a couple things you need to know about this game. Because you know about Big Ben already with the 5 INTs. Blake Bortles threw 14 passes in the game. That is the fewest by any NFL team since 2015 when the Bills threw 12. And here's your big boy. Blake Bortles threw 0 passes in the second half.
Stunning. Amazing.
And they won by 3 touchdowns.
The game plan, I'll give the Fitz credit, who said, hey, Roethlisberger's already retired in his mind. 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes within a couple back-to-back possessions. Oh, my God. I mean, there's just no excuse for that, so much talent they have on offense. They have that much talent to struggle like this. And good, great bounce back after they lose to the Jets. But to get blown out at home by Jacksonville? Now they got to go to Kansas City Sunday.
Sure.
Oh, my God. After they win at Baltimore?
How's that game shaking up for them?
I mean, but I guess you knew something was up week 1 when they struggled with the Browns at home. 5 interceptions.
Well, Paulie, how alarmed should we be that Big Ben was talking about retirement before the season started? And now yesterday, here's your money quote after the game. Quote, maybe I don't have it anymore.
Yep.
And then there was a follow-up question. What makes you say that? He said, quote, I'm not playing well enough. He was terrible yesterday in that game. And here's some Warren Sharp, who's dynamite. He goes on a weekly basis with Gil on his show, A Numbers Game. He tweeted this out during the contest, and he's spot on. The Steelers just can't think logically or rationally. Jacksonville, number 1 defense against the pass. Last in the NFL against the run. At this point of the game, Big Ben had 32 pass attempts with 2 INTs. Bell had 12 carries. He ended with 5 INTs, 2 of them taken back to the house.
Can't believe it.
Terrible game plan.
And what the Jets did to him last week. That's on the coaching staff. That's ridiculous. Pound them. They can't stop the run.
So this is the team that we're going to see win the South and be a playoff team. Bortles is going to throw 11 times a game. Not in the second half, and the defense will keep it close, and Fournette will break one late.
The Texans' offense still looks really good. But I don't. That's a weird division. See who stays healthy down the stretch with the injuries too. Wow, you thought Baltimore was out of it, and they should have been when Pittsburgh goes there and beats them and all the issues they have, and they beat the Raiders. The 3 late games were bizarre, and that's a bad loss for the Rams. That's a two-game swing there. They're supposed to win that game. They're up 10-0. Gurley fumbles at the 1. You have Zerline miss a 30-yard field goal. They have 5 turnovers.
How about Kupp dropping it late?
Yeah, could have been a better pass, but it hit him in the hands.
Yep.
They could have. You can't lose that game. That's a 2-game swing. They have a 2-game lead in the division.
Can I back up to the Gurley fumble for a second? What do you think of the call?
Right call. It's a horrible job by Gurley. Sticking the ball out. That's a bad move.
Can I argue that his foot was out of bounds before he fumbled?
I could see that.
And they should have marked him down at the 1-yard line?
Yeah.
I watched that replay 10 times yesterday. I'm like, they're going to blow this call, and I think he's out of bounds at the 1 before he fumbled.
I don't know why the guys do that. Just run out at the 1. You look at the risk reward. Worst case scenario, it's 1st and goal at the 1. Don't get greedy and try to stretch, because a lot of times the guys fumble the ball going in, and that's what happens.
I'll say if they called that the way I thought it should have been called, or if that fumble doesn't happen, they win the game, right?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, there's a good chance they're going to win that football game.
Yeah. Probably going to have to abandon the run if they're down 17-0 early. But they gave that game away.
I totally agree.
5 turnovers. Silly. 5 turnovers. Oh.
And there is trouble in paradise with the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders.
I can't figure this out.
Del Rio looks like he's panicking almost in the postgame. And then did you see the video with Donald Penn, the offensive lineman, leaving the Coliseum? Fans wanted to fight him.
Yeah. Well, that guy's throwing stuff at his car. I mean, where's security there?
Sure. How did they get into the players' parking lot?
Yeah, some fan, right? Lose a game, you're trying to start a fight with an offensive lineman, you're throwing stuff at his Rolls Royce. Del Rio blew it, too. 4th and 3 from the Baltimore 44 with 8 minutes left. He punted. Couldn't believe it. And then a long drive for Baltimore. You can't stop him. You can't punt there.
It was a terrible decision.
Oh, but everything. Well, once Cook fumbled, that was all she wrote. The Cook fumble, that's just the scoop and score the other way. It's 14-0 right away. You were up against it with Manuel to begin with, and now you put him in a 14-0 hole.
I know that kind of thing happens, Paulie, but how bad of a play was that by Jared Cook?
Yeah, just drops the ball.
Complete laziness on his part. I mean, it was so easy for that ball to come out.
Wow, this is a weird league. I'll tell you. That giant jet prop, the Jets already equaled their win total. The Giants could win 2 games.
Forget about it.
Giants are 0-5. You got the Raiders double-digit wins. They're off to a bad start. Looks like they could miss the playoffs. You know the Giants are going to miss the playoffs after 11-win season. I don't know if the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's so.
Chiefs are the best team. Alex Smith is probably your MVP right now.
Yeah, Bills could be 5-0. 2 plays away from being 5-0. Carolina, you think, wow, they're struggling with the offense, and now they look like the 07 Patriots? I mean, this is just a weird league.
How about that? Go back a couple of weeks. Newton was terrible against the Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints took their doors off in Carolina. Now, yesterday was arguably the best game I've ever seen Cam Newton play.
When they have everyone healthy, he struggles. When there's key injuries, he's at his best.
How about that?
2 years ago, Benjamin gets hurt during camp. They go 15-1. He's the MVP. Then, they're finished, right? Olsen's out for the year. Doesn't matter. 2 great games.
Dixon, how about Ed Dixon, 175 yards?
He's wide open.
Yeah, and that was a great catch by Benjamin in the end zone for a touchdown. And I'll go back to the McCaffrey touchdown for a second here.
Good play.
That play design, come on, that was stellar. The way they did that, I had no idea that was coming. Looked great.
That helps the Lions stink, too. That helps as well. Yeah. Get a big road win like that.
And the defense, Defense was playing well until yesterday. One more thing on, so that prop bet on the Jets-Giants, go back a couple of weeks. Who's going to win more games this year? Offshore, the Jets were plus $7. And, dare I say this, the wrong fan base was rooting for Darnold to play for their New York team.
That's right.
Darnold to the Giants. How about that with the number 1 overall pick?
That is a decision now. With 4 wide receivers hurt and Beckham done for the year? With their schedule? It even looks worse now with all these primetime games they still have. They're on Sunday Night Football now. They go to Denver. I mean, you're right. Eli's going to be 37 next year. They have to do that.
Of course you do.
You have to.
I think
you're set on defense.
I think it's a no-brainer. They are 200 to 1 to win the Super Bowl right now, by the way.
Did you guys catch any of David Letterman was at a statue unveiling for Peyton Manning over the weekend, and he took a nice shot at Eli? He said Peyton Manning's won as many games as Eli this year.
Good line.
Solid.
Yeah. Peyton sat there and he laughed and he's like, oh, it's good. He's like, it hurts, but it's good.
That was a major whiff on my part. I had the Giants win the NFC East, but I think a lot of people did. 11-5 last year. That defense coming back. Come on.
Oh, that's on Mac. How is he not on the hot seat?
Oh, he's absolutely 1,000% in the hot seat.
No, not at all. They're not even. They said he's completely safe, and they don't change coaches mid-year.
Yeah, I don't buy that. He's gone.
You go 11-5, and you might win 2-3 games.
How about this?
And you take Ingram in the draft, and you sign Brandon Marshall, and you can't move the ball.
Whose seat is hotter today if the Yankees don't win last night? Girardi or McAdoo? After the Game 2 non-decision by Girardi.
That was bad.
I was listening to some...
It doesn't make any sense. Your catcher is screaming at you that it was a foul ball and it hit the bat. And then he lied about it. I don't like to break my pitcher's rhythm. I was a catcher, you know. You were like number 1 in the league in success rate, and you did it all the time when you were in the field with what you would challenge.
I was listening to some New York Sports Talk Radio this weekend. They were saying if they didn't... Well, basically last night I was listening. If they didn't win yesterday, Girardi would have been gone.
Really?
That's what the hosts were saying, yes.
I don't know. Wow.
Can you imagine that?
91 wins. Get out. That's it. You made a bad move. I know. Jeez. Oh, it was something. How about that Yankee bullpen, huh? Yeah.
Jesus.
8-3. They blow it.
Incredible. Grand slam.
Should be up 2-1 right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, absolutely. Tanaka with the gem last night.
About time. Favorites, 11-1. What is going on? 11-1 so far.
That doesn't
We finally got a great game. That was playoff baseball last night.
I know. That's what you want to see.
All 3 games will blow out in the Houston series.
See, I would take 1-0 in the playoffs over 11-8 any day of the week.
That was great, the drama. Yeah, Miller gives up another homer to a lefty. Ooh, what a game. Chapman, gas. That at-bat against Bruce was terrific. Here you go. It's 103. You can't hit it. And he knows it's coming. 2-0, 2-1. Still can't catch up to the fastball. One of them was 104.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
It's Follow the Money on SiriusXM 204 and the brand new app. You can watch the show there. The VSiN app has arrived in the Apple and Android app stores. And here's why you should go and download the app. Live video streaming all day, plus archive shows like this one, updated odds with the latest news. And you can customize your app to your preferred sport. It's the best way to watch your favorite shows here on VSiN. More details at vsin.com/app. It is powered by our friends at AmericanEagle.com and the Apple and Google Play app stores. Now, up next, a Hall of Fame edition of Win Some, Lose Some with all the craziness that happened over the weekend.
More of Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard is on the way. But don't get left out on VSiN's new Point Spread Weekly. Find out more at vsin.com.